All right. Yes, thanks. Thanks, Varney.
Thank you.
Krish, you can start now.
So we are good to start, Matno.
Yes, please.
All right. So good morning, everyone. And I start with this quote from Eric Hoffer to start the session. So, it is the learner cubed world which no longer exists this time. And so people who kind of learn and adapt to this, the new normal, find themselves in a better path. And so start with this day. So a very happy Sunday to everyone. And so we kind of invite everyone for this Trailed DX Global Gathering session on the Sunday, the 16th of August. And this is being jointly, conducted by the Chennai Developers Group, the admin group, the non-profit group, and the Women in Tech group. And I'm wishing everyone a pretty good session, and we make a pretty good learning out of it. This is the forward-looking statement, a standard practice of Salesforce. So any product buying decisions should not be made of the session, and this is most in session, and so this is the typical forward-looking statement. And yes, we go for today. And 10 o'clock, I'm just doing. I am on.
Krish. Is Krish on the meeting, Padma?
I think he.
Someone muted me. It's fine.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's someone muted everyone. So sorry about that. It all happens in the connected world. And we have two fantastic sessions from the sponsors. One, Mr. Nandagiri, the managing principal of SoftSquare. And we'll do the first session after me. And then we have Anandan, the marketing manager from Demand Blue. And then we have the main talk by Jerry from Salesforce on the TDX20 CG. And that's going to start after the two sponsors talk on this. Then we have this trailblazer, and we have plenty of community leaders and the participants who can take it. And of course, whatnot, the Kahoot, the interesting part on, to do our technical session on that. Yes, then we have the key speaker, Jerry George Thomas, and most of us know us from the Salesforce, and we'll wait to hear more from him. And thanks, Jerry, for joining in the session. And here we go. The sponsors for this event, Software.
Good morning.
And then we have Demand Blue and Voltum Consulting. Boasting. Good morning, sir. I'm just finishing the introduction and hand over it to you just in a few minutes. So few pointers before starting the Kahoot. I think you can please go through it and let's ensure that it's we do it in a fairly way, and so the whoever deserves it, I think they make the most of Kahoot. And we have the Kahoot swags for the first, second, and the third place today, sponsored by Voltum, SoftSquare, and Demand Blue. Always you can find us in the developer groups, be a part of it, and be a part of the community in learning and sharing whatever we have learned. And so this is the introduction. Thank you very much for joining this Sunday. And I'll.
No. Krish, are you there?
Yes, I'm done with it. And
Okay.
I think it's Mr.
Okay,
I
this is
think
Andy. Should I start now?
Andy sir can start the session.
Okay, thank you for this privilege to speak to the Chennai Trailblazers.
Yes.
Is it the right time to start? Because there was a lapse. Is it okay to start now, or are you done?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Andy, it's good.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you say it.
Okay. Once again, I think I'm getting too many opportunities. I spoke about AI applications in the on the event on February 1st, I think, either January 31st or February 1st. I don't remember the exact date, but I had the privilege of presenting live, which of course has gone since the last 4 months. We've all been engaged in webinars, and some of us are bored with them. Some of us are fed up with too much content through our eyes. And so in the last few months, as a company, we have done some webinars, training webinars. Two of them we did, one in April, one in May. On first, we started with the admin essentials, about 5 classes we ran, and similarly we did for developers. And then we did some work.com work, and last 4 weeks we've been doing work.com presentations to the to an audience around the world. And these are little things that every one of us, not just, have been doing in your own way, shape and form. And of course, this will also pass, in my opinion. And let's think about the people who are not like us, knowledge workers who haven't had a opportunity to make their daily bread, as we move on to the rest of the presentation. So we are a partner for the last 12 years with Salesforce. We do exclusively Salesforce work. And as you can see here, we are both an SI and an App Exchange partner. I'll just quickly go through our company credential. My intent is not to bore you with all those, but I want to inspire some people to go into certain career paths, and that's my intent for the next at least 8 minutes. So as you can see, we've done these things over the last few years. We have broadened our skill set across all of these clouds in the Salesforce ecosystem. And then we've done these apps. These are only about 6 apps out of 33 that we have developed for the App Exchange. And App Exchange product development is a primary practice area for SoftSquare. I'm not going into the details. These are the apps that we have on the App Exchange that we have built. They're not hugely successful in revenues, but that has helped us uh, get our people on the job trained in various aspects of App Exchange. And I want to, the reason I'm showing this slide is I have some content for developers to steer them in a certain direction. As you all know, Salesforce started with Sales Cloud, Platform, and then Service Cloud, and then Marketing Cloud. So these are the three major clouds that many of you would have seen. Of course, I'm sure most of you would have only heard about Marketing Cloud because it's kind of exotic. It's built on .NET, not part of the Salesforce platform, but a major product in the portfolio. So I have a few slides to show you how Salesforce has evolved as a company with 50 plus acquisitions, and how we as a company and you as a developer, admin, architect, whichever role you play, can also transform yourself in a certain direction that Salesforce is taking, right? That's the intent of this, the core of this presentation. So you can see in 2010, I remember in Dreamforce, they showcased Harry Potter movie scalability that the Ruby platform at that time, Ruby application deployment platform called Heroku, and they showcased all the top 5 or 6 people on the stage. So this is where I remember Salesforce acquisition started. I'm sure they probably did a few before. And then, as you can see, Marketing Cloud is a combination of Radian6, Buddy Media, and ExactTarget. And then you have CPQ. Some of you might be dealing with CPQ as a configurator. That's through an acquisition of Steelbrick. And then Demandware was acquired in 2016 to eventually become B2C commerce. And then Quip is a word processing play that Salesforce has that some of us use. It's free license now. Cloud Craze is getting popular. It's B2B commerce versus B2B commerce. They just released a Lightning platform app of the same cloud. And I'm sure that'll get some traction, particularly with the post-COVID era of e-commerce, telecommunications, conferencing. All the companies who do these things have shot to the roof, right? I heard Shopify is almost the size of Salesforce now. So Shopify has done phenomenally well due to the growth in e-commerce. And Salesforce B2B commerce, I believe, will also go in that direction. And of course, MuleSoft is the latest kid or the last but one kid in Salesforce acquisition block in 2018. And then, of course, Map Anything. And then Tableau, right? Tableau is major, one of the top 3 BI platforms in the world. And Salesforce positions Tableau along with the Einstein Analytics. So now I'll just give you a brief about how we evolved. Once again, I'm presenting this for you to think about how your career would evolve. Of course, one person cannot emulate what a company does because a person can never get all the knowledge, combined knowledge of all the employees in a company. But that's a certain direction you can see here, right? So we started with CRM, some ERP, Service Cloud about 2 years later, my 4th bullet. And then we moved on to product development. That is a niche area that we play. And of course, product consulting. So the difference between product development and product consulting is when you develop a product, let's say we have a client where we develop a product for the debt management industry or debt settlement industry where credit card defaulters will need to be addressed. They need to restructure, have the loan restructured so they can pay it off. So that kind of tool is used by multiple financial services firms. So as Software, we built the core tool, and then we went on to support that tool vendor in their platforms, in their various implementations. So that is how we pivoted, right? So it's not only a tool that you learn, but you also do SI services around the tool. So, and then a few other things that I don't want to go into details. Of course, if you're a developer, see how we started. We did Visualforce Apex for a few years. Then we branched off into Angular. Then we did some mobile applications, Node, React, Lightning components. And of course, all of you know that Lightning Web Components is getting popular and is a niche skill now. So the company evolved through all these things, not because we had fun learning them, because our clients wanted these, right? Same for you. So if you're looking at a career in Salesforce or you're already well entrenched in Salesforce, where do you look? What is the next pivot that Salesforce is taking? And that is where you would like to pivot yourself so that you stay current and stay marketable. So this is an important slide in my opinion that could resonate with many of you. as you can see, there are a few roles that Salesforce has provided in terms of jobs or in career options. So admin configurator is very common. Every one of us knows that. Consultant is someone who's broad, right? Someone who knows, let's say, CPQ, he knows Sales Cloud, he knows Service Cloud, he knows Field Service Lightning. So this is a combination of skills that a consultant will have so they can throw their bag of tricks at a problem, not in terms of code, not in terms of process builder, not in terms of flow designer, but in terms of leveraging existing functionality across the ecosystem of Salesforce. So I'm only looking at Salesforce ecosystem. If you look at the App Exchange ecosystem, which is also part of the Salesforce ecosystem, then there is about 4,000 plus products that you can leverage, right? So I had a client who did, he was an eviction lawyer, right? So he would, he wanted to have, let's say I go to him saying, hey, my guy hasn't paid my rent for 6 months. I need to figure out a way to collect or get him out of the house. So he would generate a bunch of, he did in California. So he had a few forms that goes to court to fight the case, right? So to file the case. So for that, data comes from Salesforce. The templates are fixed by the state of California. What do? Draw loop, right? Or Kanga. So these tools are the ones that a consultant will do. And of course, marketer is about product and marketing cloud. Architect is about delving deep, more than broad, deep, right? Deep into the Salesforce platform, maybe some Heroku, maybe some MuleSoft, but architect is more tech. And then of course you have developer, right? Which I believe most of you are in this audience, considering it is the our country being the largest ecosystem of developers, probably second to the US. So if you look at developer, I have clearly demarcated that as SI developer and product developer. So some of you in our office, about half the work we do is product development, half the work we do is SI. So SI is what? System integration. So your admin or your project manager comes to you, or your consultant comes to you saying, you know what, I have this opportunity that's greater than 1,000. I want to intimate the finance department. But if the opportunity is greater than say 100,000, and if it has certain products only in the underlying product line items, I want to intimate the CEO. So how do you do that? The first one is configuration. We know the feature in Salesforce, within 2 minutes you can do that. The second one would need some code, and you go to a developer, right? So who is that developer? It's an SI developer, who's a system integration developer, or an Apex developer in our own parlance. So he helps the organization that we serve, right? Whether we're a consulting company or we're directly working for a company that uses Salesforce, then we develop that pieces, right? But nowadays you have flow designer, you have process builder, which do some of these things easily and more maintainably than a developer will have to do deployment, then worry about changes, cost for the customer is higher, those things, right? Product developers are those who develop products for the App Exchange. And that is where I wanted to inspire some of you to move into, if you're just a plain Apex or Visualforce or Lightning developer. And the right side, I have 2 bullets, as you can see, the DevOps specialist, right? Many of you would have known Copado because they advertise through the roof, right? So I've seen many people who proudly say I'm a Copado admin, even though they may not even use Copado because they have built a brand. So that's a DevOps company, right? And then you can see AutoRabbit and Flossom. These are also release management / DevOps companies, which allow developers or admins to get a career path in DevOps, right? So if you're really skilled in, say you are a skilled developer, but you're kind of bored doing the same thing here and again, or you want to try something in DevOps because that itself is necessary for an enterprise-wide organization, right? Of course, there are details as to why Salesforce DevOps is different from generic DevOps. I don't want to get into that and churn your time now. So I probably can do another presentation on that. The other point is QA automation, right? QA automation is getting extremely popular now. Selenium skills are highly in demand around the world. And I personally know that we struggle to find a Selenium developer, right? Selenium engineer, right? Selenium, I wouldn't say they are core developers, they're more Java developers. They need to understand the business problem and create test plans and execute and create automation scripts, not necessarily solve day-to-day business problems. So that QA automation engineer, I failed to put the word engineer, is another important thing that you can look at. And two tools that come to my mind. I know Provar is popular, but these two tools are probably not that popular, but they do a good job. Autonomic is one of them, and the other one is SmartBet Test Complete. So these are two career pivots that people like you can take. And of course, product developer is another career developer pivot. If you're a highly skilled developer and you want to concentrate on building products and learn how to do that, of course, that's a different science by itself, right? It's over and beyond. It's not different science. It's over and beyond. You need to have test classes with a lot of asserts. You need to ensure you have security testing done. You need to know PMD. You need to know tools that are specific to product development. Also, increasingly, I've seen many of our enterprise clients asking for these tools to be executed when doing normal SI projects also, right? Because these tools enforce best practices, and it is important for product developers or any developer to know the dictates of product development. That way, their code is clean and is deployable and also is secure from a code point of view, point of view. So this is a quick slide. I'm sure I took it from Salesforce. Ben Shaker got this to me a couple of hours back. This gives you a wide spectrum of what you can do as a developer or admin. As you can see, the mango colored ones are the consultant, right? So the consultants are the broad guys, right? They need to know CPQ, most of the tools in the ecosystem, not necessarily deep, right? They don't need to do any code. So the left side is all clicks. The right side is predominantly, it's tough to differentiate. It's kind of a little bit like that, right? On the left is until the mango and the certified admin path. And then of course you have the app builder, and the middle is actually the architect path, right? So I don't want to bore you with that. I have another slide with which is widely popular. And of course, right extreme is all marketing. So you can see this doesn't cover DevOps. It doesn't cover Selenium or automation, autonomic and other tools because this is only concentrating on Salesforce tool set only. But of course, beyond Salesforce, there is a career for many of you, and I can address that in the next one. Of course, as you can see, this is a tech architect diagram. I'm very happy to say that about 4 to 5 people every day we are getting a few certified. So I don't know the exact count from our own company who got certified in this. So this is very tough, but it's not impossible for someone who has about 4 or 5 years experience. It is expensive because each exam is $400. But in the left side of the pyramid, all you need to do is to somehow get through the data architecture and the sharing and visibility design. 2 exams, if you cross, the other 2 are relatively trivial. So if you plan for a year, it is not at all impossible to achieve. And this is about product developers, what they would go through, this common knowledge that I'm sure all of you know. And then of course, DevOps. Salesforce DX in 2017 is what actually spawned this DevOps revolution in Salesforce, and companies piggybacked on that to build more heavy tools. So security review, I mentioned this because product developers will have to go through these, and these are tools that are widely used in product development, which can also be used in SI. So this is my last slide. So I know, of course, these are things that I want you to carry home, most of which you probably already know. Trailheads, of course, you know. For new people in the Salesforce ecosystem, your trailheads, you need to target certifications. You should definitely participate in Journey to Salesforce, which is more of a mentoring program combined with trailhead modules. And then, of course, watch videos, right? I mean, most of the content of Salesforce resides in Dreamforce 2019, at least the latest ones, and spend some time on those videos to see how business problems are solved and not necessarily only technical problems, right? Finally, what you do in your job reflects in your business impact, right? So try to connect the dots and learn what you're doing and what you're doing it for, rather than only learning the technical aspect. That's one thing that I would like to emphasize to developers who generally sit in the corner and start coding, but then you can't survive with just coding skills. And then, of course, connections is, I think, is no more there. TrailheadX Virtual, most of you would have got it free. So with this flattened world, we have the privilege of getting a lot of free content, which used to be paid, and also which prevented us from traveling, budget, visas, all those things, right? So those things are all over now, at least for the next few months. And then this is what I would leave you with, this message. I hope you learned something out of my session, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy, for the wonderful session. Anand, can you please start? Okay, Anand.
Yeah, can start. Let me see. I can share my screen here. Okay, you got my screen?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you for having us here. And I'd like to say Demand Blue is proud to be a sponsor of this event. We have been involved with this Chennai chapter for some time now. We had one of these events held at our own office a few months earlier. And with all this pandemic going on, we are moving into a virtual meet mode. We know that even the Dreamforce 2020 is going to be a virtual event. So I think we're all kind of keyed in and acclimatized to this virtual meets and even virtually working from home and all those things. So welcome all of you. I know Andy just gave a great presentation on from the technical side of it. Being a technical guy, he went into all those details of how to prepare yourself to be a better developer. I'm the head of marketing for Demand Blue, and as such, people generally say we should not talk about ourselves. We should let others talk. But being a marketing guy, I have no choice. I have to talk about myself. So this is all about me just trying to give you an introduction on what Demand Blue is, what we stand for. So Demand Blue is a dedicated Salesforce service provider. We are not much into the product. We focus on IT services in an environment where SaaS products have changed the way IT companies engage with the clients. We have ushered in a new engagement model called on-demand services, which is more like just like SaaS and IaaS and PaaS. We are trying to bring in services as a service. So that's how on-demand services are born, and we have perfected it. There may be many other models like that on the market. Other companies that are providing it, but we have perfected it, and we have seen in the last 3-4 years how clients have embraced our model, and we see the client base growing. So what it does is it's cost effective at one end. It addresses the skill gaps of the clients at the other end, and with all the pool of certified resources we have at our end, the scalability is a given. And as part of our services, one is advisory. Of course, we don't just go and do the work for our clients. We tell them how it needs to be done, even if they're not sure what can be done according to the roadmap, because we know Salesforce is coming up with so many upgrades and releases every season. So we try to align our clients' roadmap along with the Salesforce roadmap so that they're able to leverage all the latest features and benefits of the upgrades to their applications. Implementation, of course, greenfield implementations and even already implemented instances. We do everything we can, and of course, we right now our expertise is more on the sales, service, marketing side. We do a lot of work on the product and community, FSL, CPQ, and so on. Integration is part and parcel of every developer work we do. So a lot of work on the integration side also, just to keep our clients, provide them a unified view of their process. And in fact, we are also partners with Jitterbit and Delbumi, because we feel that we can give better service by being Jitterbit and Delbumi being the top of the table integration platforms. We have already become partners with them, and we provide these alternatives to our clients. Development, of course, this being a developer meet, you guys would be interested. Force.com is what developers are more interested in. A lot of clients subscribe to Salesforce and then use only the out-of-the-box features. We try to educate them on what can be done through the Force.com platform, build their own custom apps. And that's where the heavy duty lifting is, of course. The customizations and admins can be happy with the low code and zero code work, but for the developers, I know you like the development part of it. The admin support, once we engage with the client, it's not only going to be heavy duty all the time. There's a lot of times we have to keep the lights on, get them move on with the regular routine work. That's what the admin support and maintenance work is all about. Coming to about our the work, the progress we have made, and how we are moving into the Salesforce ecosystem, how we fare. Looking at the data here, you can see the closed leads, how many leads we put into the Salesforce partner site, and how much of it gets closed, how many opportunities. The big pie of it are in the positive side, the greener thing. And then look at the CSAT score of 4.9. We are working towards getting a perfect 5. It's a work in progress, and I'm sure that in a few months down the line, when we come for the presentations, I can definitely show you something closer to 5 there. And partner certifications, that's something we are really proud of at DemandBlue. Right now, we have 208 active partners program certifications, which is a huge number. And within the 208 certifications as of now, because tomorrow it may decrease, because we keep motivating and pushing our people to learn more and get more certifications. And let's see, the expert certifications alone comes to 45. Andy was saying even in his presentation how important it is to get those expert certifications. We have 45 expert certifications and 163 other certifications, which really takes it to a total of 208 as of date, and the numbers will keep on growing. Customer reviews, again, the way we work with our clients, the reviews are always good. We make sure that we provide them with the kind of support they need, not only the reactive support, but most importantly, the proactive support. What they don't know that need. It's important for as a service provider to provide the client what they are not asking for. What they ask for, of course, everyone will provide. But on top of that, you need to go up and give them what they are not even thinking of. So that's something we do, and we have a lot of raving customer reviews. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is DemandBlue was born out of the fact that we had to do something special for Salesforce and special for the SaaS ecosystem, wherein the task that comes in, the kind of work that is required may not be the same as it was before before the cloud system. So we perfected this unique engagement model, and ultimately what we offer to the client is, of course, our expertise. With all the certifications our people are doing, we definitely provide that Salesforce expertise and the commitment to our client success. And through this unique engagement model, we make sure their pocket is light, they are not, their budget is not dented heavily. And to the employees, the foremost thing we offer is knowledge. We keep on training them. We bring in trainers from externally, experts from externally, and then keep on training them. And we keep motivating them to learn more, get more certifications. We sponsor all their certifications, and then because ultimately knowledge is power, and that is what we try to offer our employees. And it's a good place to grow and evolve and be a better Salesforce developer if you're in that path. So that's what we have done. Our track record is that we can boast of people who have, who can say, I have handled so many verticals, so many different clients, and so many different projects in a short span of time. That kind of experience and exposure is what we give our team. And that's something I can say that we stand out in the crowd, because in some other places we may be handling the same client for long period of time. There you may get a more client rapport, a better rapport, and better understanding of the client environment. But at DemandBlue, you get to learn lot more because you are interacting with a lot more clients, you are interacting with a lot more products, you are interacting with a lot more functions, and as such, you learn not only the development side of it, you also get to learn the function side of it. For example, if you're working on product or marketing, you ultimately end up knowing what is marketing, and if you're working on CPQ, you end up learning more about the functions of the accounting and all those things. So that is where we specialize in, and that's what we push our people to learn and become better, more as a professionals and also as a person. So this morning, I know you guys would like to keep moving on to other things, but from Demand Rules perspective, again, we are happy that we had this chance to be a sponsor for this event, and I hope you had the chance to learn more about Demand Blue at this point of time. So we will be participating in more such meets, and Demand Blue is something that will keep following you along with traded events. Thank you then. Thank you.
Thank you, Anandan, for your wonderful session. And thank you for being a sponsor. And you've been a great support for this community. And next, we'll call upon Jerry to share some TDX highlights. Jerry?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, so let me just share my screen. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Cool. Cool. Let's get started. So welcome to the global gatherings of the Chennai Developer Group, everybody. What is global gathering? Well, every year we have some major events in the Salesforce ecosystem. So this year we had TDX, which is our annual developer conference, which happens usually in San Francisco, but this time it happened online because of the pandemic and everything else that's happening in the world. So global gatherings is what we do in each community across the world, where we take the key highlights from TDX or Dreamforce and then bring it to your local Trailblazer community group. So I'm happy to be doing that today for you. A forward-looking statement, since Salesforce is a public company, we are obliged to say this, but a lot of the features that I talk about today will be things that are not generally available yet. So please don't make any buying decisions or any kind of other decisions based on what you see today. Please make your decisions by referring to the Salesforce website. More about me, my name is Jerry. Some of you who have attended the sessions regularly in the Chennai group would know me. I've come before. I came to talk at the Dreamforce Global Gathering as well. There's my Twitter handle if you want to follow me on Twitter. I post all the important updates that happened for Salesforce developers in India. I take care of developer marketing in the APAC developer relations team at Salesforce. And if you ask me what's the most Chennai thing about me is that I like filter coffee. I, in fact, don't drink any other kind of coffee. And for those of you who don't know, I was born and brought up in Chennai. I studied in Chennai and worked in Chennai as well, and moved to Hyderabad currently for Salesforce. But yes, Chennai is close to my heart, and the reason I come present often is because I'm from Chennai. Just at this point, at any point, if you can't hear my audio, if you can't see my video or anything, please feel free to interrupt me. I'll be happy to do what I can. So before we start, a big thank you to all of you, to all the people who are attending the session today. Thank you for taking time off on a Sunday. We really appreciate the enthusiasm that you show for learning and for Salesforce as well. Thank you to the community leaders of all the groups in Chennai who got together to do this session. Thank you so much. Your efforts are really appreciated. You, like I say every time, you don't have anything that you gain from this, and you do this just out of your goodwill to help other people, and we really appreciate that. And thank you to our sponsors as well. Uh, Without you, the community wouldn't be able to do what we were able to do till now. So thank you, SoftSquare, and thank you, Demand Blue, for all the help that you do. And thank you, everybody, for coming here, especially given the situation that we have around us. So before I start, many of you ask, how do you stay updated on what's happening in this for Salesforce developers in India? My answer has always been that the easiest way, the best way to be updated is to join our channel on Telegram. If you've not used Telegram before, Telegram is a messaging app like WhatsApp. You can download it from the Android or Apple App Store, and you can search for Salesforce Developers India, or you can use the link here to open the chat and join the channel. I highly encourage you to join it. We have more than 7,000 people who subscribed. It's growing every day, and we make sure that it's the first place where you see important updates related to Salesforce. So let's get started. What are the main show highlights from Trailer DX this time? So as you know, Trailer DX happened in the backdrop of Black Lives Matter. So equality was at the top of our mind. Black Lives Matter might not have had an impact in India because we don't face similar problems. But when it comes to equality, we definitely have our own problems. India as a country is as divided as any other. And I would encourage you to really take some time to reflect, see how where we are privileged. As a man, I definitely have privilege because of my gender. Maybe it could be because of other things, religion, caste, etc. So it's good to evaluate our privilege and make sure that we don't have any unconscious biases. Let's all try to be better allies and make our community and our society a more equal place. So Salesforce Customer 360 platform, that's what that's why we are here today. And most of you should know what the Salesforce Customer 360 platform is. But for those of you who are new, when you say Salesforce and its products, this is what it is. It's an entire suite of, or an entire collection of products that help a business or a company do everything that they need while interacting with customers. So this could be sending emails via Marketing Cloud, or setting up a commerce website via Commerce Cloud, or helping their employees learn new things through MyTrailhead. So the whole Salesforce Customer 360 platform gives you a way to interact with your customers. And this is all built on the Salesforce platform, which is very powerful by itself. Just like Android and Apple iOS are their own platforms, Salesforce is its own platform, using which you can build apps for your customers and businesses. So this is a representation of how you can almost look at the Salesforce platform like building blocks with these key features that help you build really amazing apps for your customers. One of the big announcements at Trailer DX this time was about Salesforce Anywhere. It's currently in beta. So what is Salesforce Anywhere? Salesforce Anywhere is an app, it's a feature that will help you to work from anywhere, to sell from anywhere, collaborate from anywhere, to access data from anywhere. How does it look? There's a screenshot on your screen about how it might look on a desktop app. We also have a mobile app for Salesforce Anywhere where you can chat with your colleagues, you can create groups. It's almost like WhatsApp for that matter. And you can access information from Salesforce within the app as you are chatting with somebody. So this helps you collaborate across the board. It helps you collaborate across the company. And we are sure that it's going to help our customers interact with their customers better going forward. And especially with the pandemic, it's even more important that you're able to work from anywhere. So since this time we moved into a virtual event, Trailhead DX had 3 tracks. So you had an admin track, a developer track, and an architect track, each of which had their own unique sessions. So what I'm going to do today is I'm not going to dive deep into any of these sessions, and there are too many sessions for me to cover totally today. However, I will try to give you a brief overview of the important announcements that I think that you'll be interested in. And I will also point you in the direction where you can go and figure out what you like and then learn more by looking at the sessions. So let's get started with the admin sessions. So the first announcement at the admin session was dynamic forms. And as you can see, for everything that I'm going to talk, there's some key resources. There's the talk's name on the right, along with the speakers. And at the bottom, you can see a link to where you can access the session. So one of the key features that we talked about was dynamic forms. So dynamic forms is now generally available, and um, it was the #1 requested feature on the Salesforce ID Exchange. So if you don't know what ID Exchange is, it's a place where anybody can come and give ideas for what features they want in Salesforce, and then people vote on it. And this was the top voted feature in the Salesforce ID Exchange. And what it does is basically when you have in Salesforce, sometimes you can have a lot of information, and sometimes you don't want to show all that information in your record details page. And maybe you want to show only information that is relevant and personalized. So you can use dynamic forms to set this up. So let me give you a quick demo of dynamic forms. So here I am within my Salesforce org, and I'm within setup, and I'm going to go to record page settings under user interface. And if you see here, you can see a toggle button to switch off or switch on dynamic forms. So mine is, I'm going to turn it off. And so you can see I'm turning it on, and yes, should be on because it was already on. So you would have to turn it off and save it to save the changes. Now I'm turning it on and saving the changes again. So dynamic forms are currently only available for custom objects. It will be available for all objects soon, but for now, for the sake of the demo, let's go to Lightning App Builder. I have this custom object, the property record page, which let's edit it. So the page is loaded up. Now, if I click on the details page, you can see on the right that there's an upgrade now button that pushes me to upgrade to dynamic forms since I've enabled it. And this is one of the things about dynamic forms. If you have existing forms, it's very easy to upgrade it to dynamic forms. All I have to do is press upgrade now and go through the steps. And you will see that the UI changes over here. And if you also see on your right, I have not set any component visibility here, but if you have any visibility settings, they will also be migrated to dynamic forms. So then you can click on the fields you want, you can set up the form, you can set up the visibility you want, and through this, and in this way, you can set up dynamic forms. And this is generally available. This is one of the features that admins were excited about, and there you go. That's dynamic forms. We also have in-app guidances. You can set up guidances within the app, within Salesforce itself, which can teach your customers or your users what they need to do and help them learn. All of the guidances is fully translatable, it's packable, and you can report on it via custom reports. So next is Einstein. So Einstein prediction builder, Einstein next best action, Einstein bots. All of these things are not new. These are things that have already been, have been talked about. These are exciting features that Einstein allows, and But what is new in Einstein, what might excite you, is not on the slide. It's called Einstein OCR, or optical character recognition. It's available in summer 20. What we'll do is, if you upload images to Einstein, or not Einstein, to Salesforce, Einstein will read the images and be able to recognize text and then input that text. This will help reduce the amount of data that users have to input in the system. So Einstein OCR is something, or optical character recognition. Einstein OCR is something that you should check out as well. When we talk about mobile experiences, again, most of these are these are things that you know. Lightning App Builder, we all use them. If you're working on Salesforce, you use it very often. Notification and mobile publisher, you can send custom notifications using flows, using processes, the REST API. But what's interesting is from at TDX India, TDX20, was the custom offline functionality. So the custom offline functionality was always there. It's not something new, but it's something that it has a new feature in the form of briefcases, and what briefcases can do is, and generally custom offline functionality, why do you need it? Some of your users might not have access to an internet connection all the time, so they might need to access Salesforce when they don't have internet, and you can do that using custom offline functionality. So the new feature that we have included is something called briefcases. So an admin can create a briefcase, which is a set of records that a user can view, and then assign the briefcase to individuals of group of users. So how that helps is that you can then let a particular user see all these records offline, and for each briefcase there's a maximum limit of 2000 records. So this is something that is interesting as well. I just realized that I might have skipped past this slide. So when we're talking about admin updates, we cannot ignore flows. So flows, the major new things in summer 20 is that you can trigger based on record change, or you can trigger based on record update, and you can trigger based on, you can schedule a trigger, or you can trigger based on a platform event, which opens up a lot of exciting possibilities for admins. In general, we recommend that if you want a flow to run regularly or frequently, triggering based on schedule would be really helpful. We also have multi-column screens coming up. So you can have up to 12 columns, and the auto layout mode means that all the lines and connections are done for you. So it's very easy. It's coming in winter 20. It's not currently available, but something to look forward to. And while we are talking about flows, I would encourage you to go to Sample Gallery and check out the automation components sample app, which is about flows as well. So this has been updated for summer 20. So when we talk about the new features in flow, all that should be available in the sample app, and that's the best way for you to learn. You also have the links to the sessions over here. So let's go. So the next thing is the security command center. So the security command center, we see security has always been a priority for Salesforce. Trust is our #1 value. And what the security command center does is it helps you manage security across many orgs. It gives you visibility into the important metrics. It helps you analyze trends so that you can anticipate a security. You can anticipate and make sure that your security is on point. So this is another thing that might interest you if you're an admin. With that, I've come to the end of the major updates for admins. If there are any questions on the admin section, I can take that now. Let's see. Okay, I see a lot of questions about Salesforce experience, about Salesforce jobs, about journey to Salesforce. Of course, these are things that I'll cover later in my session. I have slides for that as well. And I'm happy to take questions on that as well. But for now, I will move on to the developer sessions. So the developer sessions are probably, if I was to assume that most of you are developers, this is what would excite you more. And the first major update for developers is Salesforce functions. So if you've been around the Salesforce ecosystem for some time, at Dreamforce last year, we announced something called Salesforce Evergreen. Well, forget that name. Salesforce Evergreen is now called Salesforce Functions. And it's the same thing. It's currently in a private pilot. So you can preview it only if you're invited to do so. But regardless, it's something exciting for developers. It is based on what you call functions as a service or microservices, which is something that's coming up as a technology or as a skill set within the developer community. And what it allows developers to do is to build small pieces of code that are scalable elastically on the cloud. And a key important advantage is that you can write this code not just in Apex, but also in Java or Node.js and other languages. So you are able to write this code, deploy it on the cloud, but you can leverage Java libraries, you can leverage Node.js libraries, and you can also, this Salesforce functions can integrate with both declarative and programmatic tools on Salesforce. So if you've not worked with functions as a service or microservices before, you might not be able to fully understand what I'm saying. So which is why I have a recorded demo here. So here we have a contact object, and sometimes for a contact, we might upload sensitive files like a financial document, like so. So you might want to add a watermark to this document showing that this is something important and confidential. So how do you do that? You can use Salesforce functions for that. So the Node.js libraries have image manipulation libraries. And since we can write Salesforce functions in Node.js, we can use a Node.js library to do this. So here we have a Node.js library. We are using the imp watermark library, and we are getting data you're getting the data from the Salesforce event, and we are adding the watermark to the file. And what we're going to do is we're going to re-upload the file with the watermark to the same contact object. So let's run this function locally and see what happens. So if you go back to your org and refresh, you'll see that the document has been added with a confidential watermark. So now how do you do this in production? So you do it using flows, using flow builder. You can build an appropriate flow to trigger this function. Here we are triggering the function if any file is uploaded to the contact object. So we are activating the flow, and let's see if it works. So we're going to upload the same file now, the contact object. The flow is going to call the function, and as we see, the watermark has been added to the file. So this is, so what are the use cases for Salesforce function? We just saw one of them, image file processing. You can also use it for work order generation, financial calculations, etc. We expect this to be a powerful tool in the hand of developers as they look to build on the Salesforce platform. So updates to Apex. So if you're new to Salesforce, Apex is the language with which you build on the Salesforce platform. Apex is backward compatible, which means that if you've written code even 14 years ago when Apex was built, that code would still work now, because every time we update Apex, we make sure that previous versions also work. And we run around 240 million tests every year to make sure that Apex code is backward compatible. And probably the exciting announcement at TaylorDX was the safe navigation operator, which helps reduce the code you write for null checks. It's not currently available. It will be available in winter 20 release. But let's see a quick example of how it would look like. So here in this code, I am trying to get data from cache, and I'm checking if the cache is empty. I'm using a null check. I am then checking to see if the data that I receive is, if I receive any data using a null check. So instead of this, I can replace these 10 lines of code with one single line of code using the safe navigation operator. The question mark and dot that you see over here, that is the safe navigation operator. And if everything to the left of the question mark is false, then what happens is the condition on the right of the dot or the period gets executed. So this will help people developing on the Salesforce platform, and this is the major update. It's not currently available, but it will be available in the Winter 20 release. And then we have Code Builder. So what is Code Builder? Code Builder is a web IDE that will be available in all Salesforce orgs, using which you can deploy code on Salesforce. If you use Visual Studio Code for your developer tooling on your desktop, you should be comfortable with Code Builder, because Code Builder is also built on top of Visual Studio Code Spaces. Now, that doesn't mean that this is just Visual Studio in the web. We are working to make it a very robust and dynamic tool, so that whether you just want to update a few records or you want to deploy an entire app, you'll be able to do it using the Code Builder on your org. So this is again not available generally, it's in pilot, but some of you might have questions. So one question would be that, dev consoles, what about dev consoles? Is it the same as dev consoles? It's not the same, it's something different, and we're still going to be, dev consoles will still be available for the time being. Some of you might also ask, so now that we're going to have a code builder on the web, would you stop supporting desktop tooling via VS Code or anything else? Again, that's not going to happen. We're going to support both desktop as well as web IDEs. We're going to roll out updates for both, and both of them are going to be on our roadmap. What we want to do is to give developers a choice to pick the tool that they want, to pick the environment they want, and to do what's comfortable for them, so that writing code on the Salesforce platform is as easy and seamless as it can be for everybody. So Code Builder, again, I won't be able to show a demo for this because it's still in pilot. We're still changing a lot of the things in Code Builder. So even if I show you something now, it might change again in the future. So, but yeah, I'm sure this is something that most of you would be excited about. So let's move on to the third major update when it comes to developer, which is the DevOps Center. So those of you who write code, for you, it might be important. Release management and change management might be important. Now you can do this within Salesforce as well. So you can, we have a release management hub where you can track changes. We give an integration with GitHub that allows you to use it as a source control. And this helps you bring in your best DevOps practices onto Salesforce itself. So let's go into a quick demo. So here you can see what I referred to as the release management hub. So this is Dev Hub, so it can link to multiple orgs, and you can see that there are work items or work orders. And to create any change, you need to create a work item or a work order before you can publish any changes. So you can see multiple work items over here. So why don't we go and open one of them and see how it is? So you can see here, you can see the progress bar. In the top right, you can also see a launch dev environment, which will link to the dev environment that this change is related to. So let's go ahead and launch that and do some changes. So here we're just going to do some declarative changes. Again, DevOps Center will help you do track both declarative and programmatic changes. So we're going to go and use Lightning App Builder to add a component to the page. Once it's added, we are going to save this, activate it, and go back to our DevOps center. And here we have the DevOps. Now to get the changes into DevOps and to the release management hub, to the work order, we have to pull the changes, and we will pull it here. And all the changes that we did get pulled. So maybe you don't want to include all the changes in your work order or your work item. So you can go ahead and remove the ones that you don't want. So we added the property explorer component, but we don't need the admin profile change. So let's ignore that. You can also see that description and comment are required fields. So we're going to go ahead and fill them up. And we can submit the changes. And once it's submitted, you can see that there's a view on GitHub button. So now you can go to GitHub and GitHub will act as a source control. And from GitHub, you'll have to manually work with other developers and manage the code and then publish the changes back in DevOps Center. So that is the end of the highlights from the developer sessions. So let me see what questions we have. Okay, so is VS Code not required anymore because of Code Builder? Again, no. I like I mentioned, doesn't mean just because we have Code Builder online as a web ID doesn't mean that VS Code is not required. It's up to you. If you prefer desktop tooling, then you can use VS Code on your desktop, or you can use Code Builder when it's available. However, knowing VS Code is going to be helpful because Code Builder is built on VS Code spaces. So does Code Builder come at an additional cost, or is it included as part of existing Salesforce license? Currently, there has been no decision made on the pricing, so I can't answer that question. Once we do have any updates on the pricing, we'll let you know. One of the things we want to figure out with the pilot is something like this as well. What is the pricing, etc. But yeah. Do we have all the features of VS Code in Code Builder? Yes, we do all have all the features of VS Code in Code Builder, but we'll also try to make it, at least Code Builder, we'll try to make it more Salesforce friendly. If I know that's vague, but like I said, whether you want to push a small change or a large change, whatever it is, we want to make Code Builder something that's very easy to use regardless of the change. LWC is not supported in Dev Console. I don't think that is true. What makes you think that LWC won't be supported in Dev Console? Oh, LWC Dev Console, I'm sorry. Yes, I mean, Dev Console was in production. I mean, it's a tool that was there before the launch of Lightning Web Components, and we've not gone back to including that. Yes, so if you want to build using Lightning Web Components, you'll have to use VS Code or Code Builder in the future. Cool. Developer, can I access Code Builder? Again, like I mentioned, it's currently in pilot. Once the pilot is done, when it's generally available, we will make a decision whether to add it to your developer org or not. But it should be, I mean, given what we've done in the past, my personal opinion is that it should be available. But right as of now, the official thing is that it's not decided yet. JM from Australia is asking from my email ID. JM, please reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. That's a better way to reach out to me. Let me know what your concerns are. Cool. Did I miss any questions? No, looks like we've answered most of them. Cool. Let's go on to the community and ecosystem sessions. So, of course, every Trailer DX, we also have sessions for the community, and we also talk about the Salesforce ecosystem. So, what are the major updates when you have that? So Trailblazer Connect and Trailblazer Community. So you are already attending a global gathering session, so you already know what a Trailblazer community is. So please use your Trailblazer community groups well. It's the best way to network. You will find great people like your group leaders over here who have experience. The Chennai community also is pretty active. It's pretty vibrant. We have very experienced people and partners and sponsors who can help you launch your career in Salesforce, who can help you grow your career in Salesforce. So make sure that you leverage the Salesforce community, make sure you attend the sessions regularly. And in the distance future, when we can meet up again in person, I hope that you attend in person as well, so that you make the connections, the relationships, and the networking that you need to advance in your career. You also have something called Trailblazer Connect. If you've not checked it out, please check it out. It's a way that Trailhead is trying to connect trailblazers to employers. We've not done anything in India yet. There are some programs in India that you can consider, but it's something to keep in mind. If you also want to be a mentor for somebody, if you think that you have experience in Salesforce and you want to give back, mentorship is a good way. Again, search for Trailblazer Connect, or you can check out the Trail Mix over here, where you will be able to see, you will be able to apply to be a mentor. And if you are accepted, then you'll be assigned to people to mentor them for a month. So this is a way of giving back. This is a way of advancing your career in the community. So please go ahead and do that as well. So Trailblazer mentorship, I talked about this. Here's a link to apply if you're interested. So journey to Salesforce. What is journey to Salesforce? I was surprised to see that a lot of you were commenting in the chat about journey to Salesforce already before my session itself. So what is journey to Salesforce? Journey to Salesforce is a program especially for the people in India. It's currently only available to the people in India, where if you're new to the Salesforce ecosystem, if you have been working on some other technology and you're trying to get your first job in the Salesforce ecosystem, then you can go and sign up in this link. There's a free program that uses Trailhead, our self-learning platform. And if you finish all the modules and trail mixes that we give to you after signing up, then we will connect you to employers across India. So Andy Giri and Square have in the past also been involved with Journey to Salesforce. They're one of the partners that one of the employers looking to get connected to Journey to Salesforce aspirants. So like that, we have aspirants across India where they are looking for people who complete this journey. And this journey is not for students or for people who are already in the Salesforce ecosystem. But if you are moving from another platform, if you're moving from another technology and you want to get a first job in Salesforce, this is a great way to do it. It's completely online and free. You have a chance to win a PD1 certification voucher. You have a chance to win goodies. And of course, you get connected to employer connections. People are still getting jobs through the program despite the pandemic. So I would, even yesterday, Deloitte had a emergency requirement and they've asked to refer people to hire. So this is a good program. If you or somebody you know is looking to enter the Salesforce ecosystem in India, please refer your friends and family. I hope you've taken a screenshot. I'll pause here to take any questions on Journey to Salesforce. If you are part of the program or you're interested in attending this program. Okay, let's see, what question did we have before? I am from a non-CS background. Could somebody help me become a developer, or could somebody help me become learn development? And I think Journey to Salesforce is going to help you with that. We do have people who come from a non-IT background who, if you have enough determination, if you are willing to put the focus, you can learn to develop. Salesforce is one of the easiest platforms to develop. We have a mantra of no software, which means that we try to reduce writing code as much as possible and make declarative development, which is point and click, as much as possible, to enable that as much as possible. So it doesn't matter if you're from a non-CS background. I think if you do Journey to Salesforce, you're going to be successful. Of course, if you're a student, you have other journeys for that. So students and people who already have a job in the ecosystem are not eligible. Let's see. I have 3 years of IT experience as a QA analyst. Awesome. So you've completed the program. I hope you are able to successfully connect to an employer and you're able to get a job. I know a QA who has a small stint with the Salesforce platform. Is he eligible for J2S? No, because he's already worked on the Salesforce platform. But you can, I showed you Trailblazer Connect or even this Trailblazer community. You can use that to find jobs in the Salesforce ecosystem. Need to get a certification vouchers. Can you suggest few ways for me? Well, people, Salesforce does run a lot of programs. Please find the appropriate program or try to get, if you're in a company that is working on Salesforce, try to get your employer to sponsor your certification. Or if not possible, try to pay for it yourself because it is something worthwhile. It's going to add value to your resume and to your career. So look it up. Okay, cool. So moving on, resumes of the future. So we have a lot of resources on Trailhead that will help you build resumes for your jobs in Salesforce, the Salesforce ecosystem. So if you saw recently, there's been we released a project that will help you create a resume online as a website. So you can take advantage of that. That's a good way to present your resume. And we have certifications on Trailhead already. If all of you are asking how to get free certification vouchers. If you didn't know, at least so here the number says 4.2 million jobs by 2025. That's a global number, but out of this, 1.9 million direct and indirect jobs will be created in India alone by the Salesforce ecosystem by 2024. Of course, this was a survey done by a third party called IDC, International Data Corporation. The survey was done. The latest survey was done in October of last year. So of course, it doesn't reflect the pandemic. But regardless, I think everybody who's worked on Salesforce, the sponsors here will attest that the demand for Salesforce jobs are very high. We also have a new JavaScript developer certification. So this will test generic JavaScript skills as well as Lightning Web Component skills, which is a form of JavaScript by itself. So this is an additional certification that you can take that will be valuable not just in the Salesforce ecosystem, but even if you leave Salesforce and go to another technology, this is going to be a skill that's going to be helpful. And in general, if you've noticed, Salesforce is trying to come out with initiatives that will help you build skills that are not just useful in Salesforce, but across your career. So whether it be Salesforce functions where you can use JavaScript, Java or Node.js, or Lightning Web Components open source, where you can use Lightning Web Components on any platform, or even the JavaScript developer certification. We are trying to enable you to build skills that are flexible and transferable. So we hope that you find this useful. We're almost done. Again, I'm coming back to this slide because some of you might have joined late, or some of you might have missed it. Some of you might have been sleeping the last time I said it. But if you want to be updated on everything that is happening for Salesforce developers in India, we have a channel on Telegram called Salesforce Developers India. Please join the channel. Telegram is a messaging app like WhatsApp. You can download it from the Android or Apple Play Store. Cool, and we have a quest. Completing the quest will help donate $50 to a charity. So if you want to take the quest, people who have attended TDX India or Trailer DX or Dreamforce in person in San Francisco, you know what a quest is. It's generally a list of things that you do, and that if you do, you get something out of it. This time we're doing it virtually, and the gift or the prize is donating to your charity. So if you're interested, take a look and check it out here. And with that, I am done. And I'll pause again to take any more questions if you have. Does Journey to Salesforce program help me to get a job as a Salesforce administrator and consultant? Yes. Journey to Salesforce basically gives you the basic skills that you need to be to get any job in the Salesforce ecosystem. The syllabus has been created with feedback from partners and employers who are looking to hire. So this will be the basic things that an employer would look when they're trying to hire you. So yes, doesn't matter whether they are administrator or consultant. You do have to learn a little bit of development, such as Apex and stuff. So I would advise that. Any other questions, Parani, Padmasekar sir? Do you see anything else that?
No, Jerry. So I think you answered all the questions in the
Okay.
chat.
Cool. That's great then. So I mean,
The whole community is answering for others' questions. That's a nice thing I can see in the chat. So like Thiru and many are helping each other. That's really great.
Thank you for doing that as well. That's the power of the Trailblazer community. We rise by helping each other up. That brings me to the end of my session. I hope that you found it interesting. I hope that some of the things that I talked about are things that interest you. So please go check out the sessions. The sessions are available for free. The recordings are available for free. You can log in using your Trailblazer ID and your Trailhead ID, and then watch the sessions. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn, or you can pass it on to Parni or any of the other group leaders, and they can pass it on to me. I will get you the official responses from Salesforce. Even if I don't know it myself, I'll ask internally and let you know. But with that, I'm done, and thank you for having me today.
Thanks, Jerry. That was a wonderful session. We are very glad to have every time in Chennai. We are happy to see here.
My pleasure to Lavanya. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Our next session is Kahoot. We have some exciting giveaways for Kahoot. Over to you, Parani.
Thanks, Ronnie. Thank you so much. So hope everyone is ready for this Kahoot time. So just before going to that, I just want to make sure that you look at your presentations. Let me share my screen. Hope everyone can see my screen, right?
What is the pin for the Kahoot game?
I didn't start it yet. I will before that. I just want to give the basic things of Kahoot. So then I will give the pin for you. Okay. So going before to the Kahoot. So most of you know about Kahoot app. So you can just log in with your browser. So and you can. I'm just going to share a pin to you. So using that pin, you can join the quiz. So our recommendation is to use your mobile for answering and use your laptops to check out those questions. So that will be easy for you to answer. Otherwise, you need to switch between your windows, between your Kahoot app and the screen share session. So it is best to have two devices. That's the main thing. So I just want to give few points over here just to make sure that the opportunity goes for the Chennai community. So we are focusing more on this Chennai community. So that means the whole part of Tamil Nadu, because other region already had this global gathering. So we are more concentrating on Tamil Nadu, except Salem and Coimbatore. So there are a few points we need to consider here. So if you already got any global gathering certification vouchers, you are not valid you are not allowed to participate in this Kahoot. So even though if you participate, we will anyway validate those things and before providing the certification vouchers. So then, so for each and every one, you would have received a ticket number once you registered. So those ticket numbers should be your Kahoot name and nickname. So if it not, I will just remove those names and you can again put your ticket name over there. Okay. So hope everyone knows about the ticket number. So the ticket number is available in your registration. So you would have got an email for that. So use the ticket number. Be ready with the ticket number. So you can use those things in your Kahoot name. So then we need these identity proofs. So once we get the ranks in the Kahoot, we will check the identity proof with your ticket number. So we will send you a Google form to provide your email and phone number, so to make further contacts. Okay, so these are the updates that I want to give it to you. Make sure that you not participated in any of the global gatherings before in this session. So just to tell about the cloud stacks. So thanks to the sponsors, Ultim, Software, and Demand Blue, they are showing a big support for this community. So here are the certification vouchers list. So just want to show this pointers again. So be ready with that. I'm just stop this.
Can you please tell us how to play, because we are really new and this is our first meetup. So can you please explain again how to use Kahoot, because I'm not used to it.
Okay, got it. Definitely. So everyone have the Kahoot.it. You can land it on Kahoot.it. So this will land you on a page. I will just share my screen. So this is the URL, Kahoot.it. So this is again, this is where you need to enter the PIN. My advice is to take this on mobile. So you can see the questions on your laptop screen and you can answer it in your mobile. So that will be the right choice.
Okay, sir.
So yeah, then I will just provide the PIN after once I start the game. Okay, so that will be helpful for you. So once you provide your PIN, you will be asked for a nickname or a name. So where you have to provide the ticket number. Okay, so I will show those things on the screen itself. Okay, I'm again stopping my screen to play the original Kahoot over here. Okay. So hope everyone is ready with the ticket number, right? Everyone can see my screen, right? So it's 11:27 now. There is a, I'm just removing those names. Okay. Please provide your ticket number, otherwise I will remove those names from here.
What do you mean by ticket number?
You have to provide the ticket number, don't include any hash or anything.
I know where I can get the ticket number, bro.
It would be sent into your email when you register.
Okay,
This translates committee for this event.
Okay, just give me a minute. Let me check it out.
Yeah, sure. Let's have the time. So it's 11:30. So We can start at 11:35.
Do we have to start it, or you'll start the game?
I will start the game, but you have to be ready with your PIN and this ticket number. So some have their name on their as nickname, so they need to call off and they need to provide the ticket number. Yes, please don't provide your names on your nicknames. So provide the ticket number. So you can see this on the screen also. Some are providing their names over here. Don't use hash before the ticket number.
No. No.
31 players now.
Parni?
Yes, Batram.
Yeah, some of them are text chatting. They are posting some text that they are from Delhi and France. They want to know that they are eligible or not.
No. So we are trying to concentrate more on Chennai and Chennai communities. So they are not eligible. Maybe Subhatra, you can help with me with those questions because I can't able to see that whole question list.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you are from other part of the world, you are not eligible for this. So whoever wins this cover, we will have the whole ranking list and we will validate with your ID proof and your employee details, with your employment details. You should be working in Chennai or Tamil Nadu except Salem and Coimbatore because Salem and Coimbatore already had a global gathering. Oh shit, you have given your name. I think you need to change that to your ticket number. It's the time. Again, please try to see the questions from your laptop and try to answer through your mobile. That will help you to improve the chance of winning, chance of answering many questions at short time. And to give more on this, each questions will carry some points, 1,000 points or 2,000 points, and some won't carry points on itself. So, and all the questions will have some time to answer. So it will be like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So you should be very careful with those questions and answers. You will be given with a color choice how to select those which answers or something. So you can see those things on your mobile once we start the game. We have 52 players on board right now. Some hashtag. Okay. MTH. Can you please provide your ticket number, please? You should be the part of community. You should be a part of Chennai community. It can be either Chennai administration group or Chennai developer groups or Chennai non-profit group. Only the registered members are allowed to participate in this program. And you should have received the registration ticket. What's the time? It's 11:34. We have only 1 more minute.
Is it possible for Trichy members to?
Sorry?
Is it possible to join the quiz in the Trichy members?
Sorry, I can't.
Sorry,
Can you come again, please?
Yeah, I'm not from Chennai. I'm from Trichy in Tamil Nadu. Can I join in this?
Yeah, you can join. But if you're registered, or you register for this event?
Yeah, I just registered.
Yeah, you have the ticket number. Then it's.
Yeah, done. Thanks.
If you're from the part of Tamil Nadu, except Coimbatore and Salem, you are good to go. Your employment should be here in Tamil Nadu. So when we verify that, or if you are a student, then you should carry a valid college ID. So we will be verifying those details. So guys, it's 11:35. I'm gonna log this session now. So hope everyone joined. Do anyone need some more minutes? Like 1 or 2 minutes more?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
How can I join this? I didn't get any code like that.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry?
Can you be a little louder, please?
Yeah, I didn't get any code like that, but I.
You would have got an email when you registered.
No, how I just go to that Kahoot pin and I just enter that pin, and after that they ask that nickname, and after that I didn't get anything.
In that nickname, you have to provide your ticket number. You would have received the ticket number during the registration, so you need to provide that ticket number as your nickname.
Okay, before we have to register. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
How can I register? Now I can register?
No, the registration has been closed once the event has been started, so you can't register now.
Okay.
So I'm just giving a couple more minutes. So it's 1:37. Bench India. I'm just running it here. So if you're getting the same nickname, maybe you can try to log in with the private window of your browser. So that will help you to clear caches. So any questions, Subhadra, on the chat?
No, Parma.
Okay. It's 11:37. I think I will log this panel now. So we almost got a good number of registration. Oh, we got a few names. So I'm just running this. If you provided your names, those things are not valid. So make sure you have some ticket number over here like this. Samuel, Bino, I think you have to provide your ticket number. Please don't provide hash before your ticket number. So, and moreover, the group leaders' decisions are final. So, we will be making sure that the whole ID proof checking will be done before providing those slides. Okay. I'm going to log out this session now. So let's start the coverage. So the names like nickname with Vedic and Anamika won't be utilized for this. It's 11:39. It's 11:39. I'm going to log out this at 11:40. Yes, I just logged it. Let's start the game. Is the first question? Great. So all these questions are from today's session. So let's go for that. Is it what? There's a second question. What speed? French. Jerry will be happy now. Okay. That's the third question. I think there are a few new people over here, so that's why we got some wrong answers. Okay. So hope the questions are very easy to answer. Come on, guys. You should be careful with the answers. Yeah. That's this 21 people's. That's what I plotted. Right. Okay. That's interesting. This is the next question. This is a double point question. This is a jackpot question. That's it. Good. This question don't carries any points or anything, so you can provide your full feedbacks over here. So it's a fun question for us. Right. So 41 likes. So the others can provide their feedback. So what you want to improve in the Trailblazer community group contact us page. So you can find us in the contact us. So you can contact us through the Trailblazer community group. So either from admin group or developer group or from non-profit. So which group that suits you well. So you can contact us from there. So you can provide your feedback over there. So this is the next question. Great, great. So we got this 12. Please be careful with the answers because there are few. It's the 8th question. And this it's a jackpot question. Come on, guys. Please answer as soon as possible. If you take more time, you will get only less points. Wow. Let me go for the next. This is a jackpot question. This is for the global survey was taken by EDC and the numbers are given for global. Which many have listened to Jerry's speech. That's good. It's a final question. It's an easy question for you. Right. Good. So this is the end of game. So I'm just showing this. We are just showing this podium, but this once after validating your ID proofs and your employment details, we are going to provide this. So we will say for everyone, we will say we are going to send a Google form link, so where you can provide your details to client. So we will be checking your details soon. Okay. So that's it from my side. Hope you like this. Hope you like this huge game. Maybe I will send a feedback for this also. You can provide the feedback for Kahoot, and also you can provide feedback regarding this event through Trailblazer community groups. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So it's good to have everyone on this Sunday. I just leave it to Padma Shekhar.
Yeah, yes,
You can take
Bharani.
it from there. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We are coming to the last part of the session. And this is Padmasekhar Damodaran from Salesforce Admin Trailblazer Community Chennai. Though the pandemic situation has muted the whole world inside home, we have to take the learnings and the opportunities out of it. As many of you, I am attending this meetup from my native at Kanyakumari. It never happened before. As always, Salesforce has coming up with new innovative solutions for the end customers as well as for developers who lost their jobs and all. So please go through the Journey to Salesforce kind of wonderful opportunities provided by Salesforce. Also, the Trailblazer community groups across the globe are conducting many virtual events. Let us make use of these wonderful opportunities to upskill ourselves. And the admin Trailblazer community of Chennai are conducting two virtual meetings in September. One is on the 12th of September on Introduction to Consumer Goods Cloud by Mr. Suresh Kumar from Software. CG Cloud is one of the new promising and powerful tool from Salesforce. I have published that event. Please RSVP and don't miss that. And the next event is best practices for migrating and integrating your data with Salesforce by Mr. Arun Govindan, Customer Success Manager from Demand Blue. Someone was asking in the chat, how can I become an architect in Salesforce? If you attend these kind of sessions, that will be helpful for becoming an architect within few years. That will help you. Probably it will be on 26th September. That is also Saturday. And for you all, hope you enjoyed the takeaways from Mr. Andy Giri of Software and Mr. Anandan from Demand Blue. And thanks to Software, Demand Blue, and Voltum Consulting for their sponsors for the certification vouchers. And thanks to Mr. Jerry from Salesforce for the absolute session, wonderful session. As always, he and his team are very supportive, very friendly in building Salesforce Trailblazer communities in all possible ways to grow bigger. Thank you so much, sir. And thanks to all the group leaders of Chennai Trailblazer communities. In this first virtual session, we have 100+ participants. It is really amazing. Thank you all for spending your golden time on this Sunday for this event. Hope we will meet at least 1 or 2 events every month here on. Thank you all.
Thank you.
That's all. We can end up this meeting now. Thanks to everyone who joined this event. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.